Hello, Magi here, and today we're going to be playing a new game, Labyrinth of Touhou 2. So, as you know, this is the sequel to Labyrinth of Touhou. I just recently beaten it. That could have turned better, turned better, but it wasn't that bad after the grind. So we're gonna go this game again, and we're gonna see how it turns out. Now, you guys did mention the sequel was better in some aspects. Now, I don't remember which aspects because it's been a while. You know, it's gonna be a blind playthrough of it and whatnot. Since I have played Labyrinth, I have a better understanding of how the mechanics works, and you know, that'll help me out throughout playing the game. I'll be using the wiki for maps when it becomes too much of a nuisance, just like usual, and pretty much anything I did in the last game, I'll pretty much be using the same tactics if it can be applied. Since it's a sequel, I think we should be good to go, right? Now, it sounds like it's pretty soft right now, the volume. Let me see. I even turned it up a bit too. For now, we'll keep it out there, and then we'll upgrade it as I feel like I need it, because this is different. Labyrinth was so fucking loud. The sequel is so fucking soft as of this moment. So we'll see how it plays out. Oh, my mouse can still be shown here. Okay, it's not perfect, but okay, I see. All right, let's do this. Gensokyo, Human Village. It's currently 9 in the morning. It's usually around this time that the people are most busy and the village gets more and more active, but lately this place has felt pretty empty. Isn't this supposed to be the main street? I think everyone's too scared to leave their house. Oh well, it's fine, right? We can just eat dumplings while sitting on the storefront since there's so few people. Yeah, since we're a bit early for the meeting here, our meeting time, we can do that while waiting. The dumplings they make here are really delicious. So as you remember back in Labyrinth, there was, I had version 3, and apparently had like custom made character portraits for the characters as compared to their default ones. So I'm not too sure if the version I got, right now it says version 1.103. So I'm not too sure if the character portrait has changed, like, you know, back in Labyrinth, or this is by default, because this is definitely a fucking improvement to Derpy Alice and Akira, right? So right now this is all I can, I don't know if this is by default what the character model looks like, but we'll just go for now, okay? I know, right? So we should eat them quickly before the others get here. The meeting point was a dumpling shop facing the village's main street, and so the two girls ate without a care in the world, and as they waited for the others. The rainy season was at its end, and the blistering heat was flickering as the early summer season began. Yet the main street was bereft of residents and the liveliness. The whole village was wrapped in a chilling atmosphere unbefitting of the current season. The atmosphere is fine with me, better than the heat at least. Yep, this summer looks like it's gonna be pretty cool this year. I won't have to go cool myself at Corin's place. You treat your house like a storeroom, barely give it any ventilation. That's why it's so hot in there. Even though the forest it's in help blocks the sun ray. Yeah, something like that could be bad. Ah, but it's refreshing. It's cool and peaceful. Peace is good. Everybody says so. Does this village really look peaceful to you? Oh, hello, Kane. There's still some time before our appointment. Look at that. Nothing else could scream incident more than that. It's frightening everyone. You need to do something about it quickly. An incident? What do you mean? I can't see anything at all. Anyway, one more dumpling, please. Of course you're not going to see it while your eyes are glued to the food down there. Look up and tell me again you cannot see it. No thanks, I'm fine. The dumpling I have in my mouth might get stuck in my throat. Just shut up and look. Gah. Kane grabbed Marissa's dumpling stuffed face and forced her to look up. With her face forcibly lifted up, Marissa could see an out-of-this-world massive tree, calmly rooted in the distance. An outlandishly towering tree was piercing through the clouds, its leaves and branches growing outward in order to create a maze of levels. The great tree's size was so ridiculous that anyone who raised their head even slightly couldn't help but see it. The tree had suddenly appeared in Gensokyo around 3 days ago. It appeared suddenly in the forest of magic, with no clues as to the cause. Even now, it continues to grow slowly but surely, obscuring the daylight of Gensokyo, and creating an ever-growing curtain of darkness. Do you see it now? I got it already, thank you very much. A big tree like that isn't something to laugh at, but hey, when looking at something that big, you really can't help but thinking about human life, right? You aren't even bothered by it. It would be fine if it just disappeared in a day or two, but it's not likely something that massive will simply disappear if we leave it alone. Okay, that doesn't help me at all. Nice job there, whatever. In fact, a portion of the crops and flowers that were planted in the field and the village outskirts have already begun to wither away. It's not difficult to imagine that if we leave the tree alone, things are going to get worse. Ain't it good or not? It ain't good though. We get a cool and sunlight-free summer in return, and we can take the opportunity to mass-produce bean sprouts. This girl. The royal Hakutaku, who set up an elementary school in the human village, took anything that would threaten its peace very seriously. And so Cain raged on about how we're going to find the cause of the great tree today, and Reimu and Marissa were forcibly dragged into it. Well, I was also saying to myself that it's about time to investigate the great tree. The timing is perfect, I would say. Is that so? Reimu, haven't you been poking your nose into the thieving uproar that happened to Korin's place recently? Are you done with that already? Of course, son. There's no way we can leave something as ridiculous as the Ame no Murakuma being stolen alone, don't you agree? But, no matter how I looked and searched for the criminal, they didn't leave a single trace. Wait a minute, what are you talking about? Let me see, Korono, was it? A thief broke into the antique store, and what is that? And the Ame no Murakuma about? This is all news to me. I should probably give an explanation for that. Renosuke Morchika, a half-human, half-yokai hybrid who runs an antique shop located at the border of the Forest of Magic. He was the last of the four for this meeting. Now what I can say is that at the very least the art looks very similar to each other as compared to Labyrinth, where, you know, since it was using custom sprites, it was using various ones. Lots of different ones. Hell, even from Hiso Tensoko, so, you know, there's a lot of different ones. This one, it appears to be very similar, like the eyes, and then the way the eyes are drawn, the outlines of, I guess you say the face, like, this is just very thin, nothing like sharp, so I think that's all similar, really. Oh my, Renosuke, you're pretty late, the last to show up, in fact. No, I'm right on time. One should be neither too early nor too late for any appointment. Being late is obviously out of the question, while being early makes the other person worry too much about whether they should have came early too. Yes, your opinions really matter to us. So, what are you saying about a thief? It is as they say, a thief broke into my shop. As you may know, my shop sells items that came from the outside world. There are also some other small and rare articles that are not for sale that I keep for my personal collection. The value of the whatever, I'm not going to say that too much, okay? The bullshit that was stolen around a week ago really stood out from the rest. The great tree just grew a few days ago, and the theft happened a bit before that. Well, we didn't know that Renosuke had such a thing in his possession, and if it's true, there's no way we can leave such an artifact alone. And then, you know, Kane's like, what the? This bullshit? No, wait a minute. Are you sure it's the authentic one? This isn't even time to talk about its value. This is the most famous and powerful sword in Japanese lore. Most of all, how were we able to get an artifact like that? It's the first time I've heard about a relic like this being in Kisokyo. Wasn't this alien enshrined and worshipped somewhere in the outside world? Oh, Kane didn't know about it after all. Me too! I'm really interested to hear about how you found that sort of thing, Korin. Trade secrets. I can't believe I can't possibly say where I found it, especially not to Marissa, since I kind of tricked her into giving it to me. Well, no, it's not really tricking Marissa, since she didn't know it was the Ame. I think it's referring to curiosity. Renosuke, if I'm correct, Renosuke made a trade to Marissa regarding some items, and Marissa wasn't too sure what it was. Like, she had a sword, she didn't know too much about it, and Renosuke realized how important. So Renosuke traded some things to Marissa which she thought was more useful than the sword, which she didn't know the value of. I think that was during that time period. Obviously, since Renosuke only appears in Curiosity, that's the main bet. And that's where I think I remember too, because I know he traded something to Marissa, and then I remember hearing that sword's name before, like the Ame no something, alright? So it is a little familiar. In the first place, I'm the one who wants to know where she discovered that. Once in a while, her hobby of accumulating trash pulls of some unbelievable treasures. That's how I was able to get it off her hands for dirt cheap. Well, whether or not the sword is the genuine whatever handed down from ancient time, it was definitely made of pure scarlet gold, and it was undoubtedly an extremely powerful sword. Of that, I am certain. After hearing that story, I started looking for the sword and its thief. But up till now, the culprit remains at large. I see, so while you were searching for your thief, that great tree sprouted forth and caused an even bigger uproar. That's how it is! Incidentally, Raymond also mentioned that she had a feeling that the culprit was in the great tree. Really? Well, Raymond's intuition is generally right in these times. Well, we can't leave the tree alone anyway, right? So I figured since Kane was being annoying enough to call this meeting as well, that it was time to investigate the great tree and kill two birds with one stone. And that's how we decided to include Korin in our exploration of the great tree. After all, it's his fault for keeping quiet about the sword and not securing it well enough. It's clearly the thief who's at fault. I'm the victim here, and really, I'm not even suited for fighting. I'm certainly expecting nothing from you in battle, but there's strength in numbers when wandering in a big tree like that, don't you think? So sure, he's making up the numbers. You don't have to declare that to everyone, you beast. Ugh, I don't want to go. And so let's give all our best. Onwards and upwards. Oh. And since the 1.1.0, you can now start a game on hard mode difficulty. In hard mode, at the Magic Library, character parameters can't be raised above the level 1.2, and your party's highest level cannot be higher than that of the boss you're fighting. Additionally, once you defeat the last boss, do you want to? No, fuck no. No, I'm not that fucking crazy. No, I'm gonna abuse the fuck out of it and try to beat it. Okay. Okay, so I mean, it's not full English as you can tell, but it gets the jobs done. It gets the job done. Excuse us, we're coming in, Q. Hey, Q, you there? Hello there, may I help you? We're thinking of exploring that tree a little from now on. So we're wondering if you had any information to share about it. Okay, do you know anything about that thing? I don't know much. At the very least, it's not something already well known, like the cycle of the number of ghosts increasing every 60 years. I guess we'll have to do some actual legwork to know about that thing. By the way, I'd be happy if you can resolve this tree incident too. That thing is blocking the sun's light, and I don't want to catch a cold. So I'll help in what little way I can. If that thing keeps growing, the village won't be getting any sunlight at all soon. Please do something about it before that happens. We'll take whatever help you can give. What can you do for us? At the very least, I'll help with what I'm good at. I'll make a record of your exploration. A record? That's it? My exploration records are important, especially in RPGs. What do you mean by that? Who knows? But if you're not satisfied with just that, well, fine, I'll give you this too. Treasure chest key. What's this? It's a key to open locked treasure boxes in the tree. Since I can't find it there, I really have no use for that. So I'll give it to you. Yay, this treasure chest, huh? Now that gets me excited. However, it seems like this key disappears after you use it once. Since it's not reusable, please consider your options before carefully using it. It disappears after using it once? How does that even work? Who knows? Well, it's better than Derpy LQ, that's for sure. So there's 5 save files. But you know, it's not that bad. Always better to have save slots more than few, you know what I mean? Change character levels, give up level bonuses, and use special items. Okay. Might as well explore the menus, because you know, menus, there was a little cutscene for each menus. Back in, what you fucking call it again? The first game, so let's do that. Tree that big, I was worried that its roots or leaves might trash up the shrine. Seems like there wasn't too much to worry about though. The donation box is still as empty as always too. Nothing out of the ordinary at all. Well, when this kind of abnormal situation happens, donating to the shrine is hardly high on anyone's list of immediate priorities. Really? Is that really the only reason? What are you trying to say? Nothing? Really? Anyways, why are we here at the shrine? Do we have something to do here? No, there's not really anything to do here at the moment. We should just come back after we exterminate monsters within that tree and accumulate experience. Then we can level up, distribute bonus points obtained from leveling up towards any parameter we want here. Also, if we want to use any special items we find within the tree on a character, here's what we're doing. But that's for later. For now, just think of the shrine as the place for level ups and bonus point distribution. Why, thank you so much for the explanation. Well, I'm the main character. It's expected for me to do this. So what? I'm a main character too. Shall we stop this line of conversation? That could help. Obviously we didn't level up, so let's see. Yeah, no EXP, level okay. That would be fucking nice. That would be nice. Distributes. Yeah, we don't have anything to just want to see. No special. Oh, there's 3 pages, so that's good. Okay, so I'm guessing if you did this, you could probably like boost someone up exponentially. And then this one, unification. Okay, that's interesting. That's a nice change. It's all like, I'll give that. Okay, let's do this. Increase character parameter. Yeah, so it's like the skill point system. Cough, cough. This place is always super moldy every time I come. I figured you would be coming anytime now. Oh, that voice is. For me, it's my library, so it shouldn't be a surprise, right? Incidents don't get much more obvious than that, so I figured it was about time the firefighters of Kinsoku started to act. If you know about it, then just help us somehow already, like giving us some ancient spellbooks or strong magic items. We'd welcome those with open arms. You really don't beat the bush around the bush, do you? Oh really? Well fine, let's see. I'll raise your stats for you. Oh, that's good. Alright, go ahead, make it a big one. Stat! Who said I'll do it for free? Honestly, I'm not taking your money for nothing either. This kind of thing requires a lot of items and medicine. I'm just charging you for the materials. So basically, we pay money to get stronger. Yes, indeed. So earn all you can and keep the money coming, if you would. Alright, so this is the magical library. So not surprising Pashley is here again since that was the last system. Skill set. Okay, that can be good in case you want to. That's actually good, yeah. So you can. Let's say I made Brain Move pure DPS, right? And in the future I want her to be super tanky. Then I can just do that. Then I'm assuming. Now we have the money, so there's that.